Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. It's all a bit cumbersome. I'm trying to be super snazzy and do my presentation on an iPad. So just a few leads dangling off here. So as Zeev just said, I've been working for Barbados Fertility Centre for the last 8 years. And I think, this has been a really interesting conference. I've never attended one specifically about marketing within IVF. So it's been very relevant, and my notebook is filled with notes and new ideas. I think we can become very complacent that this is what we do day in, day out. We're at the top of our game. We know what we're doing. So it's really refreshing to come along and hear everybody else's presentations and make some notes on, wow, that's so obvious. I can't believe we're not doing that. So first off, I'd just like to sort of give you a bit of background on Barbados itself. I'm sure most of you probably know where it is, but quite often I'm asked where Barbados is. So it's a tiny dot of a country in the Caribbean Sea. The whole island is only 21 miles long. Oh, presentation's gone again. It's only 21 miles long by 14 miles wide. So a very, very small country with a population of only 270,000 people. So we knew from the outset that this was never going to warrant a full-time IVF unit. Barbados has been in constant occupation since the 1700s. It was taken by the British in our grand colonising the world phase and remained an English colony until 1966. So we still have very strong ties with the UK. Barbados has long been established as a tourism destination for the rich and famous, and something we've not really spoke about in this conference is medical tourism and travelling for treatment, which is essentially where our core business comes from, is from patients outside of our own country, but who come in for a 2-week holiday. This is the beach outside of our office, so we've got the natural beauty of the island, the swaying palm trees, the blue sea, the white sand, and couples are forced to unwind from the minute they arrive with us. Within this presentation, sorry, let me just get rid of that. Within this presentation, I'm going to touch briefly on social media. I think a lot of people have already covered it, so I just wanted to reinforce that fact really with a snapshot of some of the campaigns we've done and some pretty impressive numbers through social media. I'm also going to demonstrate some of our exhibition gadgetry that when we attend things like the fertility show, we obviously need to stand out against our competitors of what we're doing and why we're different, and we also want to stick in people's minds. So, for example, at the fertility show, we would have iPads on the stand. We give away iPads as well. We have the iPads engraved with Barbados, where dreams come true, and encourage them just to get involved and embrace the digital technology that we have with us today to get more information on the subject of IVF. I'm also just going to show you an example of our augmented reality, and then I'm going to finish up with showing you the fertility app, which we now have available in the App Store. So, background to Barbados Fertility Centre. We opened in 2002, and we'll be celebrating next Saturday. I will be entertaining 1,000 people at the clinic, where we have over 350 babies who are born in Barbados alone, who will be coming back, who now range in age from 10 down to a matter of weeks old, along with their parents. So yeah, it's a big milestone for us. We're really delighted to have helped so many couples, thousands of couples over the years that we've been in operation. As I said, the population was never going to sustain a full-time IVF unit, so we always aimed to market ourselves internationally, and the majority of our patients come from the UK, the United States and Canada. We aim to become an international centre of excellence and believe we achieved that in 2007 when we were granted our JCI Gold Seal of Approval. For an American patient, it doesn't actually mean anything to the UK market, but for our US patients, they wouldn't consider treatment anywhere that wasn't JCI accredited. Now, something else we've covered, but I think sort of needs reinforcing, is in IVF, it's very different from other medical disciplines, that our patients are always going to be self-funded in the majority of cases. So in which case, the medical team really has to be the sales team. And I know it's come up in other presentations that people said, you know, if a patient walks out your door, you can't go back to them. I don't believe that. I think you can go back to them because it's such a long decision process. We do a lot of PR. We've had double-page spreads appearing in The Sun, which is Britain's biggest selling newspaper, with like 3 million copy sales per day. We did that about 5 years ago, that we had the editorial team come out and follow a couple through IVF. And I always get back to our patients after they've been to us. So I think it's really important as well that your marketing team is talking directly to patients as well as the physicians. Obviously, you know, your marketing team are the ones putting the word out there about your clinic. So it's very important they understand what the patient is going through, how to empathise with the patient. So when I've done this, when I've gone back and interviewed a patient after they've been to us for treatment, you know, and I say to them, how did you hear about us in the first place? On about 3 occasions in the last year, I've been told I read The Sun. And I'm like, that was over 5 years ago now. And one woman told me, yeah, I had another failed IVF cycle. I went to my bedside drawer. I took out a tissue because I was crying. And at the very back of the drawer was where I'd kept the pull-out of the article about you. And I thought, it's now or never. I'm going to give them a call. And she came to us and did get pregnant. So it's quite interesting how long the decision process takes from when they first hear about you, when they first contact you, to actually making the decision to come for treatment. What I say to my medical team is, you know, if they say, oh, patient numbers are a bit low, looking, you know, next 2 months don't look good, what are we going to do about it? I always remind them, you know, I can bring the patients through the door, you've now got them on your files, go back 2 years, somebody who contacted you 2 years ago, and call them up and see how they're doing, because chances are they've had another failed cycle in their own country and will now be at the stage of, yes, I'm willing to consider Barbados again. And that does seem to work. So I do believe you can go back to patients, leave it a year or 2 years from when they first came to see you, but definitely keep in touch with them. I think, as we've covered as well, you've got newsletters. You know, we do a monthly newsletter. We get people to opt in and subscribe to that. So we've got about 4,000 people who subscribe to our newsletter each month. And as I said, as the medical team is effectively the sales team in IVF, you have to have a very compelling sales story. As I said, this is the beach outside of our office, so we're already onto a winner of coming to Barbados for treatment. But we can also show high success rates, higher than the UK and the United States. In terms of cost, we're charging $5,750 for a treatment cycle. More and more, I'm hearing from US patients they've been quoted $40,000 straight off, which is a very scary prospect in the same conversation to be told, A, you need IVF, and it's going to cost you $40,000. As I said, we've got the JCI accreditation. We're offering treatment in a stress-reduced environment, and we have a purpose-built, state-of-the-art facility. So as I said, I'm not going to talk too much about social media, but I just wanted to throw these figures at you that if you're not engaging in social media at the moment, and as Ron just said, you know, you do have to invest, you know, a proportion of your marketing budget to it, and as he said, between $3,000 and $5,000, it is quite a good spend. This is a snapshot of a campaign I ran last year from June to August, where I did paid advertising on Facebook, between 8 to 10 different advertisements, talking about specific subjects like, for the UK market, the majority of our patients come for egg donation because we're anonymous in Barbados. Also, the majority of the population is 97% black, so if a couple need a black egg donor, then we run our own donor egg program as well. So a variety of adverts tailoring it to specific medical conditions or reasons why people might want to come to us, and then also the Google paid search. And we ran this campaign in the UK and the USA, and over those 3 months, we were reaching on average 30 million people a month will be seeing the name Barbados Fertility Centre. So over the full 3 months, it was just under 94 million impressions of where our name had been shown. Then the funnel comes down, and that's translated to 12,613 new patient inquiries over that 3-month period, which I think you'll agree, you know, is quite a phenomenal amount of patient inquiries, and the beauty of this is that you can stop and start. So as the nursing staff get overwhelmed with new patient inquiries, it's stop the advertising. So, you know, you can just pause it, let them catch up over the next couple of days, and then restart it again. And because an IVF patient takes so long to make the decision, you do need to throw the net far and wide to keep those patient numbers trickling through. Okay, now this is onto the snazzy part of it and embracing new technology. I think it's very important, as we're trying to put across to our patients, that in terms of the medical procedures, we're using cutting-edge technology. We also like to show this in our marketing methods as well. So this is what we have, an interactive video platform, and as Alexandra was saying yesterday with our Generation Y, they're very impatient and they want information now. So even though you can be watching a video, or say, I don't know how many of you do this, but when I'm at home watching TV, I have my iPhone in one hand and I end up not watching the programme because I'm Googling everything about it. Who is that actor? What else were they in? Where have I seen them before? And I just spend half the evening actually playing on my iPhone and not watching TV at all. So this new technology sort of takes that a step further.
The road to pregnancy can be a difficult and anxiety-ridden path. As more and more people wait until later in life to have children, the challenges to conceiving become greater.
So this is what we would have on our exhibition stands, that people are watching the videos. As I say, we've got iPads around, so it's interactive. So that came up with a suggestion of, do you want patient stories straight off? This then takes them out to my blog on the Huffington Post, which is an article on why many UK couples go overseas for IVF. And then within that, there's a patient case study of a UK couple who've been to us for successful treatment. When they're finished reading the article, they just click done, and the video resumes where it was already playing.
Popular treatment that gives couples with fertility problems another option for conceiving a child. However, for many people, the IVF process can be a stressful journey, exacerbating the situation, as stress is considered a major factor associated with infertility.
So again, we're presuming when people are watching this that they know what IVF is. You know, this could be somebody who's just been told but really hasn't took it on board yet, or what it actually means. So again, within that suggested content, you can come out, read what is in vitro fertilisation, and when you're done, the video just resumes again.
The solution seems simple. Reduce stress levels during IVF to increase success rates of treatment. But in fast-paced societies like the US, that's easier said than done.
So we've spoken about our success rate. So it saves them just going off and looking all this information up. It directly links out to show them what our success rates are.
That's why many couples are looking to the Caribbean for the solution. Located in an idyllic, stress-reduced environment on the island of Barbados, Barbados Fertility Center combines cutting-edge medical care with holistic well-being.
And again, if you want to know more about Barbados, it takes you off to the Tourism Authority website so they can plan their vacation while they're with us.
Through a unique Healthy Mind-Body program. The program includes massage, counseling, reflexology, and acupuncture in one of the most relaxing settings on Earth. A team of international specialists provide.
So there it's talked about relaxation, and then you can go out and find out more about our Healthy Mind Body program, which is where we give patients acupuncture, reflexology, in-room massage for his and her, massage on the beach, and also a session with a trained counsellor on dealing with the negative emotions associated with IVF.
Provide the most up-to-date fertility technologies available, maximizing the potential for a successful outcome. Dealing with infertility is a stressful situation for any couple, and that stress can only compound the challenges they face. One clinic is taking an innovative approach to solving this problem.
And so by the end there, we hope that they're now ready to get in contact with us and request a free consultation with our medical director.
And the results are putting smiles on people's faces all over the world.
Okay, so that's the interactive video, which is just a bit of fun on our website and gives them a bit more information, that they're not just, you know, we're not just telling them, they can actually find out more and play with the iPads. Now, the augmented reality as well, like I say, we have the iPads on the exhibition stand, and then these are very much like QR codes, that we would have a palm tree as the trigger. They hold the iPad or the iPhone over the palm tree, and then these virtual images float around in front of them. The three things we want them to take away from visiting our stand is that we're located on a small Caribbean island, and it's going to be a very relaxing way to do their IVF. The state-of-the-art equipment, and that they, can trust our JCI Gold Seal of approval, because even though Barbados is a third world country, we want them to know that this is world-class treatment they're going to get, and the Healthy Mind-Body program with the yoga, the reflexology, the acupuncture, etc. So I'm just going to finish off now by showing you our latest embracing of the digital age, and that is the launch of our fertility app, which is now available in the App Store since last November. This has been a really interesting project, in writing it and developing it, but now it's actually in the market. I was speaking to Alexandra yesterday just saying, we've never done any marketing at all in Australia, yet it's the biggest country for downloads of the fertility app. So it's really interesting how people are finding it, and that we're now getting patient inquiries from Australia through the app. So basically it has I'm not actually online here, so it won't show all of its capabilities, but basically it has a calendar. Within that calendar, you can add when you've got a clinical appointment, you can get your ovulation dates, you can also add in your medication, and it will send you push notifications and an alert when you need to take your meds as well. So as I say, you've got the cycle there, and you can add all the different types of medications and add all your appointments in as well. Now, we target this not just the couples who are going through IVF. The plan is to get somebody who's made the life-changing decision to start a family. So from the moment they want to conceive, there'll be tips in here to help them along their way. But what we reiterate throughout is that if you've tried for more than 12 months, you must seek medical intervention. So we're catching people before they might even know that a problem's going to exist. So there's the calendar, which it sends you text messages and alerts of when you need to be at appointments, when you need to take medication, and when you're actually going to be ovulating. Here you've got a full, so I'm not online, so that's not loading up, but there's a full medical glossary explaining all the medical terms associated with IVF, conditions that cause infertility, and also an explanation of all the medications that you might take and what effects they're having on your body, which again, I think that's come up quite a lot, that patients don't take the medication or are worried about what the side effects are. So the full medical glossary explains all of that to them. You've got frequently asked questions there. In our 10 years, what are the most common questions we've been asked? So we've included them within the app as well. There's some healthy lifestyle tips on all the things they could be doing to get their body in the best place to be able to either conceive naturally or to help them through their treatment. Then we've also got all of our social networks, so they can like us on Facebook, they can follow us on Twitter, they can go in our forum, which is Caribbean Fertility Support, which is all just for patients to talk to one another. They can email the medical team directly or watch other videos about our patients on YouTube. They can request their free consultation, they can get more information about us, and obviously on their iPhone they can call us directly. And that's the end. So I'd just like to finish up by saying thank you very much to the organisers. It's been a really productive and useful weekend, and thank you very much for inviting me along.